What's up, boxing fans? This is Sonteo, and I'm here with another video about RGBA. This one specifically about Mikey Garcia and his upcoming fight versus Errol the Truth Spence. Mikey's 39-0 with 30 knockouts. Spence is 24-0 with 21 knockouts. The fight takes place on March 16th at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. In December, via ES News, Mikey's dad, the Big G, shared with Robert and Ellie that Mikey used to do 8 rounds of sparring 3 times a week against Manny Pacquiao when he was 17 years old. It turns out it was in preparation for Manny Pacquiao's second fight versus Eric Morales. This was revealed by Mikey during his camp at Snack in San Carlos, where he did an interview. I'm going to put some fight dates out there to use as references. In November of 2003, Manny Pacquiao fought Marco Antonio Barrera, who was 57-3. In May 2004, he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, who's 42-2. And in March of 2005, he fought Eric Morales, who was 47-2. Pacquiao earned a TKO against Barrera and earned a draw against Marquez and lost against Eric Morales in a unanimous decision. Manny stopped Morales by TKO in their second match and knocked him out in the third round of their third and final match. Pacquiao fought Marquez a total of 4 times, once in 2004, once in 2008, once in 2011, and the final time in 2012. He fought Morales 3 times, once in 2005 and twice in 2006. He also fought Barrera twice, once in 2003 and again in 2007. The reason I made this video, the reason I had interest in finding out exactly when the sparring took place with Manny Pacquiao was because Nazim Richardson came out and made a statement on an interview a month or 2 ago calling Mikey Garcia the Mexican Floyd Mayweather. And I don't think he was trying to make a comparison in skills or boxing records or anything like that. I think he was just trying to say that Mikey grew up, just like Floyd grew up in a family at a very young age inside boxing gyms with professionals like his dad and his uncle, Roger. So I think Nazim was trying to say the same thing about Mikey. At a very young age, he was around world champions like his brother, Robert Garcia, and his stepbrother, Fernando Vargas. So I think that's what reference he was making when he called Mikey the Mexican Floyd Mayweather. That's just my opinion. I'd have to go back and ask him to in context of what the interview was about. That's how I read it, but there was a lot of different opinions on social media and on videos made after that comment was made by Nazim. Recently on ES News, Mikey was quoted saying that he helped Manny Pacquiao as a sparring partner for his second fight against Morales, which took place January 21st, 2006, making Mikey 17 years old up until December 15th, and then 18 years old after that. The fight took place in January of 2006. So depending on how long he was sparring him, how many weeks in preparation, he was 17 and 18 years old because his birthday was a month before the fight took place. Manny lost his first fight to Morales in a 12-round unanimous decision that was in favor of Morales. Then he won the second and the third fights. The second fight ended in a 10-round TKO, and the last and final fight ended in a 3rd-round knockout. Manny Pacquiao was 43-2 before his second fight with Eric Morales. Eric Morales at the time was 48-3. And then I'm putting these records out there and these dates out there just to kind of wrap our head around, these reference points of where Manny was at in his career and how young Mikey was. Manny turned pro in 1995, which makes him a 10-year pro at this point, and a world champion with 45 fights under his belt. And he is sparring a 17-year-old amateur 3 times a week for 8-round sessions in a camp in preparation for his title fight against Eric Morales. Right now, currently at RGBA, there are 4 fighters that are close to having 40 fights. Mikey Garcia's 39-0. Abner Mares, I believe, is 31-3 and 1. Brandon Rios is roughly 35-4-1, right around there. And Josecito Lopez is, I think, 36-7. So my question to you guys is, do you think any of those fighters would currently use an amateur 17-year-old for sparring in preparation for a title fight? Right now, Mares is gearing up to fight Tank, and Josecito Lopez will be fighting Keith One Time Thurman. And do you think a 17-year-old amateur who's supposed to turn pro and start fighting 4-round fights is going to help them prepare Mares for Tank for a 12-round fight and Josecito for Keith Thurman in a WBA world title fight? I don't know. That's the question I'm posing. My opinion is that there's probably too much difference in level of skill for the champ to get anything out of it. So that's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, write in the comment section. I'd like to know what you guys think. Maybe you guys know of somebody like Devin Haney fighting a world champion in sparring when he was 16 or 17-year-old. Maybe you know of Teofimo Lopez fighting against, a world-class fighter at the young age of, I don't know, 15 or 16. These fighters are developing at different stages, but I just wanted to put reference points out there to figure out exactly where Manny was at and exactly where Mikey Garcia were at when the sparring sessions took place. Another example, Fernando Vargas. Fernando Vargas was an Olympian, and at a very young age, Eduardo the Big G took him to Los Angeles to spar Ramon Yori Boy Campas. And Yori Boy Campas played around with Fernando Vargas in the ring. Fernando has said this story multiple times through different outlets, saying this guy, I couldn't do anything against him. And Yori was even taunting him and teasing him and saying, "Come on, Olympian, come on, little Olympian, let's see what you got." And Fernando shares the story that on the ride home back to Oxnard, he was in tears, and the Big G was trying to tell him, "Don't be so hard on yourself. You're talking about a world champion. Why are you being so hard on yourself? You're talking about if I was to do a little bit of research, I would probably guess that he was probably a 40 to 45 fight champion at the time. So, and then we know what happened when they actually met in the ring when Fernando Vargas was 14-0. He actually took Yori Boy Campas' title from him. So there's a bunch of information out there. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything, but if you want to write something in the comment section about an amateur that was fighting world-class competition, maybe it's more common than I think. But in the case of Mikey Garcia, in my opinion, he was so naturally gifted and talented that he was able to keep up with Manny, a 10-year veteran and champion with 45 fights under his belt, and not just give him 3 or 4 rounds. A lot of times, like Jose Carlos Ramirez, he's gearing up for a fight February 10th, Sunday, in Fresno, versus Jose Cepeda, and he's using 3 or 4 prospects or contenders in order to get him prepared for that 12-round fight. And his favorite fighter that he likes to use, and he likes him fresh, is Virgil Ortiz, who's 11-0 with 11 knockouts. So not only was he doing 8, just doing 3 or 4 rounds with him, he was giving him a full work of 8. Who knows if Manny was using somebody after he used Mikey and getting another 4 rounds in there, or another 6 or 8 rounds in there? Who knows? But that's just the information that we have. So I'd love your comment on it. I'd love your opinion. And then I just wanted to add another comment in there, just for reference. But it sounds like Pacquiao fluctuated in his career between 118, 122, and 126 during this stage in his boxing career. And then just another reference point, he fought for his first world title fight in July of 2002 and won the IBF Super Bantamweight title against Emmanuel Lucero at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, California. So there's tons of stories out there. There's stories of Edwin Valero, sparring with Oscar De La Hoya. There's Errol Spence. There's stories about sparring with Errol Spence, between Errol Spence and Adrian Broner. There's There's stories about Errol Spence sparring Floyd Mayweather Jr. And those are all out there in the public. But this story just grabs my eye. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. If you guys have an opinion on the opposite side, or even if you agree with me, or if you just want to shed more light onto the subject. I'm sure I've done this video before and I'm gonna delete the previous one because I didn't think I was getting my message across. So I think I'm gonna continue doing this. As I get more and more information, I'm just gonna keep redoing this video. So I hope you like it. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Sonteo_media, and you can follow me on Instagram, Sonteo_media. Have a good one. Thanks.